Welcome to TJ's podcast.
Hey, TJ Fanaticos, glad to have you. So thrilled to have you on day 2 of the new podcast. Hi, Riggins.
Good morning.
I say that like we haven't been together all morning already.
How are you?
I'm good. I need you to explain something to me because I don't know about, well, as you know, I think a lot of the stuff that people do about their dogs is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you said something today during the regular old show that I had no idea went on. If you've got a dog in an apartment building or complex or something in a city, they DNA test your dog.
Yeah.
And that's because if your dog poops somewhere in the building, they can match the poop to the DNA and know that your dog is the one doing that.
Yes. Goes through, you put your pet through a whole pet screening process and you register them with this company and they provide, and I think that original story, they said they had tested 300 dogs' DNA in just a matter of weeks that were requests from properties.
Wow.
Like, we need you to do the test on this.
Because I watch a lot of crime documentaries, and usually when they say, so we gathered the DNA, but we had to wait a couple of weeks before we got the results. But these people can take a dog's poop and get the DNA results back immediately then.
I don't know what the timeline is.
You don't know how long it takes?
No. But, yeah, it's pretty sophisticated.
Damn. My dog wouldn't go for it, though, because my dog would say, I don't want my DNA on record with the government.
Yeah, your dog would.
Mm-hmm.
A nice conservative dog.
So these people that the story came up about, they were getting evicted because their dog had pooped so many times around the area of the apartment.
Yeah, they had gotten 3 notices.
And they found out by matching the DNA.
Yeah.
I wonder how much, do they charge that back to the dog owner, the DNA test? Because
when you get the screening for the dog, you pay a fee. And I'm sure that there's some sort of contract worked out with the DNA testing company, also the company that screens them, with the property management. I don't know how the cost breaks down, but you pay to have that done. And
wow.
DNA testing is not cheap, I think.
No. I mean, I've never done that 23andMe or any of that stuff, but I know my little friend Jenny had her one of her dogs DNA tested.
Yeah.
You remember, because I said it was part German Shepherd, part fox or wolf or something, and then part Cheez-It.
Cheez-It?
Yeah, because she had been feeding him Cheez-Its before she got the swab. And the thing
1%
said,
Cheez-It.
Yeah, the thing said don't swab their mouth unless they haven't eaten in a while or whatever. And she didn't read that part of it, and it had Cheez-Its on it.
Your dog is a Cheez-It.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So what else do you have to do if you got a dog in an apartment?
You got to pay pet rent.
And how much is that extra usually?
I think when I was living in the city, it was $35 a month, but a $400 non-refundable pet fee when I moved in or when I got them. Now, a lot of people just get pets and they keep it on the DL. But I don't like doing that. I mean, who wants to have to hide something like that?
And how embarrassing would it be if they caught you?
Yeah.
And what would you say? Oh, this is not my dog. I'm dog sitting.
Yeah, I guess.
And they go, well, there's a fee for that too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Or you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah. It's crazy.
$400.
I think that's what it was. Yeah. Non-refundable. You even get your security deposit back at the end of the lease, but not that $400 non-refundable pet fee.
And $35 a month.
Something like that. Yeah.
And is that per dog? Like if you had 2 dogs, you'd have to pay $800 and then $70 a month?
So. I believe so.
Damn.
Yeah. Maybe the non-refundable pet fee was just a blanket cost, but for each individual animal, the rent would have been $35. Yeah, it's crazy.
I need to put that in a Dear Papa letter. The thing I've always said I wanted to do, but I've never done it.
Yeah.
Where I sit down and write a letter to my grandfather who had been passed years and years ago. But then I look at it like if I'm sitting here writing, it's supposed to be writing a letter to my grandfather telling him what's going on down here. He should know that because he's in heaven. He can see it. So it wouldn't make much sense to be writing him a letter telling him that people are paying $400 and $35 a month to have a pet
Yeah.
that then gets DNA tested and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. He already knows.
Yeah.
He knows the ridiculousness of it. And they're making a killing because everybody's got a dog now. Something happened in the last, 20 years or so where everybody just got a dog. No one doesn't have a dog.
It's marketing,
Yeah.
because they've made people feel like they're not just getting a dog. It's that they are, they're becoming, it's raising their worth in society to have a dog. It's like, oh my God, it's like a moral authority kind of thing. They started making people think, oh my, and that's where the when they say you rescued a dog or you adopted a dog, those kinds of things, then it makes people feel like, oh my God, I'm doing so much good for the world.
Somebody pointed out, they said, it's the only love you can buy, which is true. It's the only love you can buy. And that dog will be loyal to you, will love you, regardless of whether you're skinny, you're fat, you're ugly, you're beautiful. That dog doesn't care. And people aren't like that. So that was the greatest marketing thing ever.
Yeah.
The only love you can buy.
But what do you have to think, though, if you're the one that has to go scrape up their poop and put it in with a Q-tip and send it off to be tested?
Yeah, that's probably not a fun gig.
Does the building manager do that, or is that just like when they grab the guy working in the flower bed and say, "Hey, I got something I need you to do for me. Can you go do that?"
The maintenance guy. When I lived in the high rise, they had a dog pee pad or whatever they call it, a dog landing pad right outside both of the buildings, and it was like artificial turf because there weren't a lot of grassy spaces. But then that thing ends up just soaking up all the urine, so they had to go clean it like with all these chemicals all the time.
And were dogs pooping on it too?
Sure.
So you would poop on that pad, and then you'd have to immediately pick it up and then go. But it still had to leave a trail behind.
Yeah, they would come out with it looked like a rug cleaner, but it wasn't cleaning the rug; it was cleaning the turf, and it sucks up all the.
That's nasty. And you would do that? Your dog would use that thing?
No, because we were always walking around the city. But I guess if your dog was a little dog and you just wanted to take it out briefly, you could do that. I never did though. Maybe to run him out to pee one time or so, but we were always walking.
Man, that's crazy. It is a lot of your life goes into having to deal with that, right?
Most of my life.
And is that why you say it's a prison sometimes?
Yeah, it is. But it's at the end of the day, it's worth it.
So what would you do if you didn't have the dog? Like, how would your life be more free?
I'd be going out on a lot more dates.
You would?
Sure. Oh, absolutely.
Why can't you go out on dates with a dog?
I can, but I would go out on more. Because sometimes when it's like Friday night, and I'm like, oh man, we could go have a great date. Or I could sit, and now I got to figure out something to do with the dog. It's expensive to have somebody take care of the dog. You know? Or if you just want to leave him at the house, that's fine. But then you're like, oh, what do I,
So how long would you leave him on a Friday night just at the house?
A couple hours.
But people leave
Not more than 4.
But people leave him for a long time.
Yeah.
But is he big enough his bladder's big enough where he doesn't have to go out that much?
Not really.
No? How often does he have to pee?
Every 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah. Does he tell you, or you just say it's time to go?
Yeah. But we're so in sync, it just kind of works.
So if you pee, then you think it's time for him he probably needs to go. Like that? It's like, oh, yeah, when I get through pooping, I'm going to have to take him out because I know if I'm pooping, he needs to poop.
Yeah. But it is worth it. I mean, they he has brought me so much joy, and he loves me unconditionally and all those great things. I mean, there are great reasons to have a dog.
Yeah.
But your life does change when you have one. Mm-hmm. And not all of that is fun.
But I wouldn't want one in the city for sure. Like if you got to do all of that crap in the city, and every time you got to take him out, you got to go down, 13 floors and out through a lobby and have to, chit chat with people on your way in and out and all that stuff.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't know what I was thinking. I had a puppy on, more than 10 stories up. And that was a challenge.
Did it ever poop on the sidewalk?
He has, yeah, but not on, it might have been on accident or
right.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you do your best and to try to clean it up with a plastic bag that's ripping. And then you got poop under your fingernails walking home, and it's in front of like the Capitol Grill, where business people are having lunch. So it's a crazy thing to do, but it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Because everybody else has a dog too. They're all going through the exact same thing.
And that's where you'd see the homeless people.
Sure, yeah, you see all kinds of people. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to...
But you're picking up poop. They're not even doing that.
You disappear in the city. That's why people moved to New York. You can just be anonymous. And that's kind of, Charlotte was a microcosm of that. But you disappear. Nobody's looking at you. You can have your nuts hanging out like that guy. Or you could be picking up crap in pajama pants. Nobody cares. Nobody's looking for you.
Yeah, one day I went and was hanging out with the Riggins, and we were working on a little project or something, and I was spending the night with him in the city, and we went for the evening walk with the dog, and there was a homeless guy who didn't have a belt, and his pants would just fall down around his ankles and knees. I mean, and he would just be, and he had this, looked like the heaviest testicles I've ever seen on a person. I mean, they were swinging like the inside of a bell. Dong,
yeah.
Dong.
But the city move is to just act like you don't see it. Just keep going. That's kind of what everybody does. Just put your head down. Don't say anything. Mind your business.
I was like, did you see that guy's nuts?
Just keep going. You don't stop. Don't stop. Just keep going.
But I didn't see any do-gooders out there passing out clean needles or anything. Have you ever seen that? I always thought that happened in big cities.
Yeah.
People leaving babies at the fire station and passing out clean needles to the drug addicts.
Yeah. No, not here. No. And homeless people, all the only stories you ever see are like the homeless person assaults somebody down the side, like sucker punches somebody. But I found that where I was living, that the homeless people were far nicer than anybody that was working in the banking buildings, I developed real friendships with some of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And,
and you don't think it's because they were trying to get something out of you?
I know they weren't.
Oh, that's good.
They just wanted to talk.
Yeah. And
that was fine with me. I was on a walk. But yeah, but then one day that friendship comes to an end because they just disappear and you never see them again. And you're like, oh, and I would hear it all the time, like, oh, I'm going to move down to Greenville, South Carolina. I'm like, what are you going to do down there? Same thing I'm doing here. Not a lot.
Change of scenery.
Yeah. So, and then they would just disappear. So like a lot of those guys, and then I was reunited with one, he had moved to Chester, South Carolina, got in some sort of facility, turned his life around, got a job. I saw him 8 months later walking down Tryon. He parks his car in the middle of the street on Tryon, gets out and runs over and gives me a big hug. And his girlfriend is in the car. I remember her vaguely. And
was he still homeless, or had he found a place?
I think he had found a place, had a little car.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Most of your urban outdoorsmen don't have cars.
Yeah, he had a car, and I mean, he still kind of looked the same. Still looked a little grubby, but he didn't smell. Clean.
Was it a firm embrace and a hold, or was it just kind of a pat on the break?
No, I mean,
it was
parked
firm
his car,
embrace.
Ran across the traffic.
Yeah,
he saw us, and
and I guess because he's out of practice driving. He just thought, I'm going to stop it here because I'm going to give that son of a bitch a hug right now. Yeah. I'm going to firm embrace him. We're going to touch penises when we hug. That's how much I want to reunite with this fella.
Yeah.
You made a difference in his life, I guess, because you were probably one of the only clean people that was nice to him.
Yeah, maybe. But you know what, TJ? He made a difference in mine.
Oh, he did. I don't doubt that.
Yeah. Definitely makes you see things differently.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I've seen a lot of homeless people.
Yeah.
Doesn't. And I mean, because I haven't had a relationship with any of them, I guess is why it doesn't make any difference to me. I mean, as far as I see things differently.
And it's important to point out there's a lot of homeless people that are dickheads.
Oh, yeah.
Just like everybody else. You've got great people and you've got not so great people. And there's plenty of them that are jerks. But this guy was just as sweet as he could be.
That's cool. And you had a girlfriend too. Now, was she homeless to begin with, or did he drag her into that?
I think they met out on the street.
Nice.
She didn't say. I always saw him more often, but man, she waved out of the window. Hey, it's good to see you. But yeah, they had come back into town for something. I don't know.
What was the teeth situation?
Teeth were
decent.
Decent, yeah, as I recall. Yeah.
But it's not like my wife's teeth or anything.
No.
Perfect and huge and bright white and all that.
And he had a horseshoe. He was like a younger guy, but he had like a horseshoe hair. I went, oh, dude, just shave your head. What are you doing?
Do you know that if I let my hair grow out now, that my horseshoe is not even a real horseshoe? It's worse than a regular horseshoe.
What is it?
It's like let's say the back of my head is right here. Instead of going like this, it goes way down and then back up.
Like a U.
Yeah.
All the way down to like the nape of your neck?
Not that far, but it's not a regular U shape. It's like a more of a rounded V than a U.
Really?
Crazy, yeah.
You should grow it out.
Looking like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
All right, so Kanye West has gone overboard with the hyperbole and the drama.
I think
right?
So. I think so.
And there's something that the children are doing on the social medias and all that needs to be. It's the social medias and airplanes that needs to be called out. So we'll get to all of that coming up next.
TJ's podcast.
When it comes to losing weight, sometimes you don't even know where to start. You know that it needs to happen, but you need some help. Well, you start by going to acetj.com/weight loss and ordering Calitrin. Calitrin is scientifically proven to help you lose weight, and it is not a drug. It is not a drug. Repeat that. So here's what you do. You go to acetj.com/Calitrin, order 3 months, and then you'll get 3 months free. 4 months, 4 months free. That's how it works with Calitrin.
Winter is here, which means you're just going to stay inside and not do anything fun and exciting, right? No, that is wrong, because this year you're going to go to acetj.com/Gaston and see all of the incredible things that you can do right now in Gaston County. Everything is laid out for you, from things to do, to restaurants, to bars, to shopping, to unique weekend activities. And we'll get you ready for the spring and the summer with a list of all their great festivals. Find all of this and much more at acetj.com/Gaston.
Back to TJ's podcast.
Yay. Welcome back, TJ Fanaticos. The haters love that. You know, I have a lot of haters. People who don't know how to take you. People don't know how to take you, as my wife says. And they hate it when I call people who listen to the podcast, my various podcasts, TJ Fanaticos. They don't like it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And that's not why I do it. To just aggravate people who can't understand the way things work. I don't do it for that. TJ Fanaticos. All right. So what has Kanye done? Now, again, when we do celebrity stories on this podcast, it's to make fun of celebrities, not to worship them like other people do in broadcasting and stuff.
Yeah.
We're making fun of them, calling them out.
Yeah, he's selling he's got a problem with Adidas. Like, right? They kicked him out, and he was like, "Y'all can't. I can never get canceled. I can never get fired." And Adidas fired him.
Now, they're the ones that's where the Yeezys are. Is Adidas, right?
Yeah, and they sold a ton of them, made a lot of money with his shoes. But now he said it was using a contract clause to rape an artist, one of y'all's favorite artists, referring to himself, and he was just going on another one of his like Kanye rants.
So what are they doing?
I don't.
What
really
does he say they've done to him?
I don't really. I think they're still selling Yeezys, but they don't. With his name on it. I mean, that's essentially his name. Mm-hmm. But he's no longer making money off of it. I guess I'm not really sure.
But he said they're raping him. Raping an artist.
Yeah, it's bad hyperbole.
Oh,
the worst.
I mean, what is wrong? But it's number one, right? His album is number one right now.
Yeah, I think so.
The number one song is Beyonce's Texas Hold'em.
Yeah.
But his album is number one. And who's on the album with him?
Is it Ty Dolla $ign?
Yeah. That's right.
Ty Dolla $ign. I previewed a bit of it. I mean, it's garbage.
But you used to be a huge Kanye fan.
Yeah.
Like he was your favorite.
Yeah. But his last 5 albums, I would say, are, to me, unlistenable.
Mm-hmm. Well, how does it get to be number one? People still, they like it, or they just think they need to be getting it because everybody's going to be doing it.
Yeah, he's created a spectacle around himself, and I think there's a lot of interest. Like, is he going to say something about Jewish people? Is he going to, talk about liking Hitler again? I think there's a morbid curiosity when it comes to Kanye now, for those reasons that I just listed.
But I don't know. It's just ridiculous to me that you would buy something and not like it,
Yeah.
just because you think you're supposed to have it, or something of that nature. But whenever you start throwing around the word rape, and it's not a description of actual rape, then you got a problem. You're taking yourself too seriously. And I know people say, especially if it's a man, but I don't care if it's a man or a woman. If you start saying that you've been raped some way or another, then yeah, you need to be called out for it if you haven't been actually raped. This is like, oh my God, they just raped me at the dress barn, charging me all of this money for this cheap dress or whatever. No, they didn't. No.
Stop saying that. But that's so Kanye. I mean, he just says the most outlandish stuff. And I don't know, he wants to push the limit on everything.
And he's really crazy, right? You think so? Or it's all just part of the hype? I
don't know. I don't live with him. I don't know what he's like, but to say those things in public are pretty reprehensible by today's standards.
And even if you're doing it for the shock value and the marketing and the branding and the publicity and all that, then you're still crazy.
Yeah.
If you think it's okay to say and do those things for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Then I would still put you in the crazy category.
Yeah. I don't know what he's dealing with. I don't know if it's bipolar schizophrenia. I don't know anything about that stuff, but I know he thinks that there are people out there that are trying to silence him, and that he will stop at nothing to do that. And he blames the entire healthcare industry and trying to keep him doped up on medicines and things like that. Now, I don't know. I just don't know.
But see, I think that's a problem that has happened over the past, 20 years or so, when you had to specifically determine what is wrong with a person if they're showing crazy behavior. Before, it was just covered and everybody knew what you were talking about when you just said, he ain't right in the head. That covered it all.
Yeah.
That's the diagnosis. Oh, he ain't right in the head. So Kanye ain't right in the head. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Because the specifics of it, why should that matter?
Yeah.
To the average person? Just like, oh, he ain't right in the head. Outside of the, grammatical errors and all of that, it makes a lot of sense. And the reason I say it that way is because that's the way my family always say. And sometimes it was, don't blame him. He ain't right in the head. He doesn't know what he's saying. He doesn't know what he's doing. He ain't right in the head. Then other times it was, you stay away from him. He ain't right in the head. He needs to be arrested. He ain't right in the head.
Now, were they actually mentally ill, or that label could have been used for a lot of different
No, it
things?
was mainly a different way of saying that they were crazy, like legitimately insane in some way or another.
Not just eccentric or anything.
Right. Now, if you were funny in an offbeat kind of way, the country southern way of saying that as a compliment was, boy, you ain't right.
Yeah.
You ain't right.
Yeah.
That's another version. How do you even think of stuff like that?
Yeah.
You ain't right, and he ain't right in the head. Two completely different things.
Oh, yeah.
She ain't right in the head. That's the one. She ain't right in the head.
Is that scarier?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because don't you think crazy woman is scarier than crazy man if you got to be dealing with them? Well, no, I guess not.
You were talking about psychopaths earlier and how there's more female psychopaths.
But they're not violent.
But they're not violent, so I don't know.
Yeah, probably. You're right. Crazy man is probably worse because you can run from a crazy woman.
You can run from crazy.
Yeah, as fat as I am now, I don't think there are many women that could, if I was trying to get away from them, could catch me.
Yeah, you could juke them out. Break their ankles.
I think I'm still pretty fast at a short distance, like a cheetah.
Yeah, like a cheetah.
Uh-huh.
You're a cheetah. You're the cheetah of podcasts.
We ought to try that. You go, all right, we get a woman out here in the parking lot. But if we did that and asked for volunteers, it would all be athletes. Well, she runs track at this high school or this college or whatever. I'm talking about your average woman.
Yeah.
If a woman came up to me in the parking lot and said, "Give me your wallet," and didn't have a gun didn't have a gun, she had a knife, then I still could say no and take off running. Because she's not going to catch me with a knife.
You would respond by saying no. You'd go,
yeah,
no. And then start running.
I go.
You would dignify that with a response?
Yeah. I go,
no.
If she pulls out a knife, she's like, "Hey, give me your wallet." And we're close together, where she could stab me at that point. Then I would just take a step back and I would go, "No." I'd be...
Oh, let me just find it. No. Yeah,
crazy bitch.
That would be the thing. Dropping in. I mean, if we really wanted to do that, that's how you would have to do. You'd have to insult her to make her fired up, and then take off running.
It'd be my luck. She's from like the circus or something. She could throw knives.
Yeah.
Just put it right in my back.
Or she easily kicks your ankle out like behind your other foot. Ah! You just eat shit in the parking lot.
Like, not today.
And she's like, "Damn, he is fat."
I didn't think Fat Boy could run like that.
Damn, he really did. He wasn't kidding.
It'd be like, on the playground where sometimes you had to just, if they were chasing you, you had to stop and then when they start running again, you take off running. I got a little breathing room. Help!
I would like to see it.
But you don't see women committing muggings and stuff like that very often. That's mainly a man crime, isn't it?
What you typically see, the only ones I know of is like it's a Tinder date. She shows up and then she's like, "Hold on, I got to go outside." And then her friends walk in. They're dudes. So.
Or you can see a pack of women surround somebody like on the subway and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But just to walk up and go, give me your money.
Wallet. Hell no.
What would you do?
I'd probably give her the wallet.
Well, you would give her something, because don't you carry something with you of value to give to people if they try to mug you? So.
I used to carry a couple dollars.
Yeah.
Because if they were becoming increasingly agitated, you can give them a couple bucks. But that rarely ever happened, but it was a good little trick to have.
I'd probably go, "Wait, what if I just give you everything that's in the wallet and let me keep the wallet? Because the wallet, I like the wallet. It's nice. I'll give you my cards and my money. Just let me keep the wallet."
Yeah.
That wouldn't work. Because then she'd go, "What kind of wallet is it?" And then when I told her, then she'd take that.
Yeah. You could always play off like with the homeless people. You'd say, "Well, Trey owes me $30, so you go get it from him."
So I got
that might work. TJ's always got cash on.
I got $95.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
You carry $95 around?
Yeah. So I could say, "Here, just take the cash." And she'd go, "Wait, is that a Louis Vuitton wallet?"
Yeah, I mean, that's worth more.
I go, "No."
It's a bootleg.
It's a Louis Vinton is what it is. All right, so tell everybody about this trend that people are doing quickly about the plane seats.
Oh, I don't. What was that?
It's where the girls are taking the seat belts and.
Oh yeah, there's a crazy video about how you should be sitting in an airplane seat, and experts are saying it could end your life. It's the worst idea ever created.
And it looks so ridiculous.
Yeah, I can't see guys doing this, but a lot of women are into it.
Well, I know I can't see me doing it.
No, I can't either.
I just always wonder why people have to sit this way.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, is that people don't want to act like adults. Adults don't want to act like adults. So they come up with crap like this. And then one girl said that it has saved her life.
Yeah.
Completely saved her life.
Changes the way I travel.
Yeah. It's taking the seat belt. Instead of wrapping it around your waist, you put your feet up into the seat where your knees are in your chest and wrap the seat belt around you like that so you can sit in a ball.
Yeah.
On a plane seat. What is wrong with people?
I guess it like, she talks about how comfortable it is, but I don't know. I'm fat. Like I'm not, if my knees were in my chest, that would not be comfortable for me. But if you're like a slight woman, it might be comfortable. It's like getting swaddled though.
How does a seatbelt fit around the legs and everything? Do they have to get the extenders to do that?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
When's the last time you've flown?
Gosh, I couldn't even tell you.
You anywhere close to needing an extender on the seatbelt yet?
No, not last time I flew.
I think I might be close.
Really? When was the last time you flew?
I don't know. A couple years ago, I guess.
Was it tight?
Maybe. No. We flew to Lincoln, Nebraska. Flew home from Lincoln, Nebraska, less than a year ago. And I mean, it's a while before I'll need it, but if I could have one now, I could, move about a little bit more in my seat.
Yeah. Seatbelts in Nebraska should just be bigger, though, shouldn't they? Shouldn't Nebraska? It's Nebraska. Come on. Just make your seatbelts bigger.
If a plane is going to or fro,
yeah, I think so.
From Nebraska, they need to be bigger. But if I see somebody sitting in a plane seat with their feet up in the seat, like their heels on the front of the seat, and they're in a ball, I don't know how much ridicule I would throw at them.
Worse to see that, or somebody just with their shoes off, feet up in the seat?
I think worse to see the seatbelt wrapped around them, because I don't think that's safe.
It's not. That's what the experts were saying. They said in case of turbulence, now you've got to get the seatbelt that's wrapped around your knees, like your shins essentially, and your ankles, and you could just go like face first into the seat in front of you.
I just don't think that some young adults are going to be happy until they can get back in the womb. So they can actually crawl back up into the womb. They're not going to be happy.
There's a lot of that stuff.
They just want to stay children the rest of their lives.
I think of those weighted blankets all the time, like because you want to be swaddled.
Yeah,
it's a comfort, a security, and this kind of falls into that same thing. I want to be bundled up tight.
And you know why?
Why?
Because they ain't right in the head. That's why. All right, so something that I've been talking about for years is going to be happening that is going to be bad for society, especially women. It's becoming true more and more every day. Got a new story about it coming up next.
More of TJ's podcast is coming up.
If you're so frustrated because you're having to run around all the time, you're so busy, you feel like you're not getting your family something great to eat, then you need Culver's. It's the perfect thing for you. Always made to order, fresh, hot ingredients all day, every day.
And not only do they have the freshest ingredients all day, every day, but they are a part of the community. They're proud to be a part of the Indian Trail community where they're under new ownership. Belmont, University area, Salisbury. Make them a part of your daily routine. Make it your new neighborhood spot. Short waits for the freshest food in town. Get details at acetj.com/Culvers.
We're here with our old friend, Richard Toccato, the Richard Toccato Companies. Now, Richard, you just told me something very important that you wanted me to say, but I don't remember what it was. So can you say it for me? It was something about numbers and percentages and things that I don't understand.
This is the best way for loan officers to keep the majority of the revenue that they earn every year, just like a real estate agent.
Got it.
Real estate agents pay what we call a cap in industry. Normally, it's around $16,000 to $20,000, and then after they pay in their commission to reach that for the company, they keep 100% of it. So we're going to do the same thing at Richard Toccato Companies. You as a loan officer are going to pay us a cap of $16,000, and everything else you keep. Everything else you earn is yours. So real quick, an example: if you make $200,000 in a year, I'm going to take $16,000 of it, and then you're going to keep $184,000. The traditional model that loan officers work on now, they do $200,000 in revenue, and they keep about 80,000 or 100,000.
Really?
So this is going to change the game. We're going to do what other real estate firms have been doing for years, but we're doing it on the mortgage broker side.
And this is something that's not being done anywhere. It's totally different.
Totally different, not being done anywhere else. We're also going to have revenue share. So if you bring loan officers to us, you're going to make money on, you're going to make money from a downline, just like EXP or Keller Williams.
Wow.
So it's, you got to check it out. Just go to workwithrichard.info. It's simple, workwithrichard.info. See if it's for you. Give me a call. Let's have a conversation.
Okay. You want me to try to say it?
Yeah, you say it.
Check it out, workwithrichard.info.
Welcome back, world, to TJ's podcast.
Riggins, I know you're making fun of me for my old school stopwatch. I said I was going to go get it yesterday, and I did. And you said, you can pull that down.
I feel like Diplo over here.
There you go.
We're gonna
Yeah, you said earlier that it's annoying because it beeps when I turn it on and all of that.
Yeah. And it's constant. It's beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. Well, will it surprise you to know even the old school stopwatch, I couldn't get it to work on my own yesterday. I had to bring it in this morning, and Rob fixed it.
Stop. You couldn't work a stopwatch?
It said pull out the battery tab to make it go. You know how they put that thing in there,
the
whatever?
little plastic
There
piece.
wasn't one. And I couldn't get it to come on, and there was no tab. And I was thinking, okay, well, the tab is gone and the battery is run down already. I was going to take it back today. But I came in this morning and handed it to Tech D Rob, and I said, hey, before I go in there and make a fool of myself, I want you to double check and make sure that I'm not doing something wrong. Yeah. I turned around, took the coffee that I brought in this morning, set it on the little coffee stand, turned back around, and he had it going. Oh. Because the tab had gone inside the back of the thing.
Okay. Oh.
So he just took it off and said, oh, there it is, and then popped it out. So.
You're hopeless.
I know. And it's got all these other features on it that I don't need. I just want a stopwatch. That's it.
Yeah.
Stop. And I went into this first store I went to yesterday was the damn Walmart. They didn't have them.
Really?
Yeah, and I asked the lady back toward the sporting goods and all that. I said, "Do y'all have? Where would I find the stopwatches? Because they had them online in the store." And she goes, "I tried jewelry." I was like, "Okay,
okay."
I know they're not gonna have. I don't know. I know they're not gonna have the type of stopwatch I'm looking for at the jewelry counter. So I went over where the workout stuff was and everything.
You should
they didn't have it.
You should time Jody doing like random chores around the house. Don't say anything, but just walk up to her while she's doing dishes and just clock her and not say anything, then clock her again when she's done. That would go over well.
Yeah. All right. So we have another story about how they have improved the realistic sex dolls. And with AI, they're now programming them to be companions.
Yeah.
And some of them, according to this lady who is in Australia that owns a company, some of them are being used and not even for sexual purposes. They're just being used as companions because you can program them to say whatever you want them to say. And if you're not making the sex with them, then you just have, I guess the people the guys that have them feel like they're in a joyous relationship, happy, healthy relationship because, they're not being fussed at and nagged and they're not making the doll unhappy. See, ladies, you don't understand that a lot of times because if you've got a guy that you love that's a good guy most of the time, like overall, you think he's a good man, the worst thing that you can be to him is unhappy. He wants you to be happy because if you're happy, his life is happy. So you get a doll that's realistic and you can program her to always be happy. Some guys who aren't right in the head are going to take that instead of trying to find, a fulfilling relationship with a woman. But one thing this woman says is that what makes her company different is because all the other companies are owned by men.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm a woman. I know what men like. Well, wouldn't you think a man, being a man, would know what a man likes? So this is like playing the woman card when you don't need to.
Yeah.
Like, this is better because I'm a woman. And I think she used to be in the porn business or something. So she's talking about like knowing how to dress them in lingerie and things like that. They're not going to care. Men aren't going to care if they've got on the latest, fashion underwear or anything. If you had one, Riggins, would you ever even put clothes on her?
I don't know. Probably not. Because,
It's going to be in the closet anyway or under the bed, wherever you could store her.
Yeah. Well, I live in a house now, so I'd probably just leave her out.
Yeah. Or just put her in her own bedroom.
Give her own bedroom.
Yeah. This is Kiki's room.
Kiki?
I don't know. Just came up with that.
This is Myrtle's room.
What would you name her?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, because she points out like the term sex doll is a kind of antiquated term for what this is.
Yeah.
It's a companion doll that you can have sex with. I mean, that has the ability, because it talks and knows you and learns about you.
And has a family setting on it.
Yeah, it's got a family mode.
You can put it on one setting that, she talks all nasty and everything to you. And then you put it in another setting, she's fine to be out and conversing with your nieces and nephews when they come over to visit.
That is wild. A family mode, so that your family doesn't have to be uncomfortable around your
sex doll.
Around your sex doll. Isn't that crazy? But I do want to hear the nasty things she's saying. And does it sound like a robot or does it sound like a real woman?
But if you ever think that it's okay to bring a sex doll or companion doll or whatever out in front of people and pretend like it's your companion, then you need help. You need to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
Agalmatophilia is the sexual attraction to inanimate objects. But are these becoming where they're not inanimate objects? They're becoming more human-like?
Yeah, I don't think this qualifies.
But this article from Vice does give me a good quote to use from now on. Your yuck is someone's yum.
Don't yuck my yum. Sorry, this is a little bit different. We're not talking about soft serve ice cream or frozen yogurt. This is a sex doll that has a steel frame on the inside.
Yeah, and they talk about how heavy it is and all that.
With a computer inside it.
It's weird.
Yeah.
However, is it going to get to a point, because these things are so expensive, is it going to get to a point where, now this woman's describing it as mainstream now. It's now mainstream. It's not mainstream. You say whatever you want to say. It's not mainstream. People still think you're a freak if you look at a doll and say that it's a real person or you're going to marry it or that's your companion or whatever. If you're walking around with a doll saying these things, then you are not right in the head. You ain't right. But they're so expensive, and if they do become more popular, will we get to a point where they're like cars and you trade them in for another one and then you go buy a used sex doll at the used lot? I mean, does that happen already? I don't know.
Part of me says that to have a companion doll means you have a connection to it.
Yeah.
Means you're invested in the relationship that you have with this doll. So I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't. You're like, this is my partner.
But what if you just? I mean, it's still a machine though, and that would be brought to light. Even if you're under this delusion that this is a person, you can wear it out, like a machine.
Yeah.
So if you're going to town on this thing so much that you're putting miles on her.
Sure.
Like you're putting, what's the maintenance on it? Does it come with a kit where you're supposed to do, quarterly maintenance on it? What happens if the computer needs to be worked? What if you get a virus? You take that to the Geek Squad?
Yeah. Lug her in there?
Well, there's got to be a way to take the computer out of it, right? For those reasons. You can't go walking in Best Buy with a sex doll.
That's how I picture, like in Silence of the Lambs with Hannibal Lecter
Yeah,
on that
dolly.
gurney. Yeah. Hey, buddy, I got a virus.
But I don't doubt people would do it because of the lack of shame that people have now, for the most part.
Yeah, to have it around your family.
And then are there going to be sex doll mechanics?
Maybe.
So I got, where's Kiki? Oh, she's in the shop. They said I got to loan her.
She's getting worked on. Like it's a Chrysler Sebring or something. That's crazy. So disturbing.
But would you buy a used one if you were in that shape where you thought that was just, if you had no shame?
Yeah, if I had no shame.
And does it lose value the moment you drive her off the lot?
I
The
think
whole
so.
thing. Like, yeah, as soon as you kiss her,
Yeah.
it drops in value.
No returns on that. No 30-day money-back guarantee with these. Because they're customized.
Yeah.
You know, they're so highly customizable that I don't think you can take that back.
That's why I'm saying there has to be a growing market for used ones
Maybe.
because they're so expensive, and a lot of people who are preverts like this, they're not exactly hitting it big in the stock market and running a big company or anything.
That would be devastating, though, if you came on financial straits and you had to go sell like your partner.
Yeah.
That's got to be heartbreaking. I got to let
Is
you
it?
go. I mean, a tearful.
heartbreaking?
Can you, imagine if it was a tearful goodbye as he wheels her into the pawn shop or wherever he's going?
Yeah.
He's like, let me just kiss her one more time.
Treat her well.
Yeah.
Be gentle.
Oh, God. And he's got to see her in the window when he drives by. And it's like, how pathetic.
Do you think it would matter to women, though, real women, whether or not, you know how they'll judge you whether or not you have a nice car? If they find out that you've got a brand new customized sex doll, it's not as bad as if they find out you got a 2019 model that you picked up on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to like, I don't think they're going to like any.
So you think it would be an equal amount of disdain?
Yeah. I think women would probably rather date a cocaine addict than a guy with a sex doll.
But if they found out their guy had a sex doll and they go to tell all their friends about how crazy it is, and can you believe he had a sex doll? They're going to add to it, though, if they say, and he bought it used.
Oh, my gosh.
So that, I think that would show right there that it's worse. They judge you more harshly if it's a used sex doll.
As they should.
I'm sorry, companion doll.
Companion doll. It's not used. It's newly single. How
It's
disturbing.
recently uncoupled.
Yeah. Consciously uncoupled sex doll.
Have you ever thought about if you got one customized, what you would want it to look like?
Sure.
What?
Casey Musgraves.
That's a country singer, right? I don't
Yeah.
know what she looks like.
Kind of like a country Morticia Adams. Morticia Adams with more flannel.
Yeah. Well,
She's
because
like her attitude I find very attractive. Like just doesn't care.
I can't picture you, Riggins, ordering one that comes with that looks like it's got a lot of makeup on.
Yeah, I like a natural beauty, but her attitude is also like very, very attractive.
I want my sex doll to be a natural beauty.
Yeah. Ooh, I don't want no. Yeah, because if you're going to get that, you want something as realistic as possible. So doing like a porn star look
Right.
with these huge inflated boobs and a lot of makeup on, it's like, well, why would you get the sex doll then?
Yeah.
Or such a realistic sex doll? You would want it to be realistic looking. And you don't see these, kind of people out on the street.
Mm-hmm. You think if they break down, like where a guy just wears it out, he's put so many miles on it and everything, that they have funerals for them and stuff?
A sex doll funeral?
Like if they're having weddings for them, they're getting married to one, having a marriage ceremony.
Yeah.
If he wears her out because he puts too many miles on her.
Got a barrier.
Yeah. Kind of like, when you total your car or whatever.
Sure. Yeah, probably. There is a guy that married his sex doll.
Yeah, several of them, we've had in there. And this woman says that sometimes she'll throw in an extra head.
Really?
Yeah, so they can switch it up or, make her a little different, put a little variety in it. So you have the ability to switch parts on it. You can do the maintenance and stuff, I guess.
Swap it out. Mm-hmm. You would think, though, a guy that goes and customizes it to exactly what he wants, that's looking for a partner, quote unquote, would not want a swappable head. He's like, no, this is the person I love. This is the person I want to be with. I don't want to. You can't just swap her head out. That's like swapping, I don't know, any other body. Something horrible.
Would it also that type of person never want to get another one? Have two at the same time?
Yeah, that's their partner.
Huh. But they're still perverts at heart. You got to look at it that way.
True enough.
Which one's stronger, the love or the pervert?
It's
the perversion.
Like a war fighting in myself. It's like the good person versus the pervert. They're fighting it out. I don't know. Which one wins?
It's just all weird, and it's dangerous. Dangerous for our society.
You find out a friend gets a sex doll. Do you ever want him in your house again?
I wouldn't mind that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You wouldn't?
No. That's sort of my benchmark. Would you want him? Would you
I
allow
probably
them in
wouldn't.
your house?
I probably wouldn't have anything in common with them anymore. Yeah, you're right.
You don't want them around your family.
Mm-mm. That's a good point.
Yeah.
And we can end it on that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Serving the world. It's TJ's podcast.
Hi, I'm Thomas Davis, and let me tell you why I'm a proud member of Team Neogenics.
If your nagging pain is keeping you from being active, do something about it. Join the long list of pros and average Joes who have found relief with our stem cell and regenerative therapies.
After trying all the others, I decided to try Neogenics. My knees and shoulders haven't felt this good since my college days. If you want to get back in the game, do what I did. Visit Neogenics, where all you have to lose is pain.
Our nation's second president, John Adams, always slept on the left side of the bed. He believed this would increase his chances of having positive dreams and a more successful next day. That's why every mattress we sell here at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress includes a left side.
And for those that prefer waking up on the right side of the bed, our mattresses come with one of those too.
This President's Day, you can save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic sets. Only at Sweet Dreams Furniture and Mattress.